What is up, guys? My name is Santiago Leunda, and the holidays are right around the corner, so some of you guys might be looking to increase your filmmaking arsenal. So today we're talking gear. And I want to start by saying that a piece of equipment should be seen as nothing more than a tool. A tool for filmmaking. It makes the job easier, and that's true, it really does. The problem is that a lot of people get trapped into thinking that without the right tools or equipment, you can't get the job done at all. I have personally dropped a ton of projects for the same reason. I felt I didn't have the right equipment to create the vision I wanted. And it's bullshit. In filmmaking, you will almost never have everything you feel you need. But that's what makes filmmaking a creative process, and working out that creative muscle will only strengthen your ability to problem solve, which is an essential skill to have as a filmmaker. Alright, mini rant over. Okay, so as a young filmmaker without a lot of money, when I first started looking into what gear I should buy, it was pretty intimidating. And I feel a lot of people can relate to this, so I wanted to share my experience buying gear from the start with the hope that you guys won't make the same mistakes that I did. Okay, so the first thing I bought was my camera. I ended up going with the Nikon D5300 with a kit lens and a 50mm prime. Before that, I was shooting with my sister's point and shoot camera and wanted to upgrade with a DSLR just because they're moderately inexpensive and give you a lot of control when shooting video. Some of the reasons I chose the D5300 were I was already used to shooting with Nikon. My high school broadcasting class had a couple D5000s in stock and they let the students use it. On top of that, the D5300 offers 60 frames per second at 1080 and the manual shooting settings for video. These were two things that a lot of other DSLRs didn't offer, and because I wanted to stick to Nikon, the D5300 seemed perfect for me. However, looking back, I might have wanted to go with Canon. Canon has a larger variety and higher end lenses than Nikon, and if you don't know that already, lenses become a huge deal later on in the industry. So Canon definitely has the advantage here. And not only that, but the current film industry right now is using mostly Canon or Sony cameras. And of course, that's not talking about cinema cameras, that's a different story. I know there's a lot more to say about cameras and lenses, but I'll leave you with this. If you don't have one already, a DSLR is a great place to start with a camera. And if you have the option, I recommend you try going with Canon, simply because they're a less expensive alternative to Sony cameras, but at the same time, they'll give you a lot more room to grow than a Nikon. So next is another very basic item, the tripod. Tripods are absolutely crucial on most sets. I'm still using a tripod that I got many years ago for about 20 to 30 bucks, and the problem with tripods at that price range is that you can't really use them to pan or tilt while shooting video. If you're looking to get a tripod with fluid movement, then you're looking from about 100 to a few hundred bucks. And like I said, you can get some of these for really cheap, so if you don't have one already, I don't know what you're doing, get one. Moving on, the next thing I bought was the newer Steadicam. This thing is meant to stabilize dynamic shots and give you wicked footage, and at the same time, it kind of makes you look like a badass. And this is one of those things that I thought would magically take my filmmaking to the next level, but in fact was kind of a waste of money and is one of the items I use the least. It was kind of an impulse buy to get my filmmaking juices going, and that's a mistake that you should try to avoid. Sometimes when we're feeling down, we feel the need to go out and buy something hoping that it will somehow solve all of our filmmaking problems, and that's just not how it works. And I'm not saying that this was a bad item that didn't work, just saying that it wasn't for me. So next, lighting. Currently, I only have a single light, and that is the newer 160 LED. And it's actually what I'm using to film this right now, and it goes for about 35 bucks. This has been an amazing buy for me because it's allowed me to start controlling and playing around with different kinds of lighting in a scene. Learning how to light a scene will be especially useful to you if you're interested in becoming a cinematographer, because a lot of the times the lighting will make or break a certain shot. Finally, there's audio. Audio is insanely important. I'm sure you've heard that thousands of times, but it's still one of the most overlooked parts of filming. I originally planned to save up to buy the Rode NT-G2 microphone with a Zoom H4n recorder. Those two combined would have cost me about $500 US. But for now, I'm using the Rode Video Micro, and honestly, this will be just fine until I have enough money to buy those pieces of equipment. There's something in my eye. So your goal for audio should just be to not be using the built-in camera microphone. If you can't get your hands on a microphone, then I highly recommend you start using your smartphone to start recording sound. The audio on these things have become pretty decent, and even though they're not top quality sound, they're pretty easy to work and just about everybody has one. Alright, so I know I went through a lot of stuff really quickly, and you might be feeling a little more confused than when you first started watching this video. But really, all I want you to take out of this is that you should be looking for something that will best suit your needs and be most useful to whatever you're doing. Don't go buying items just because you think they'll give you some huge advantage in making videos. Think about what kind of videos you're making and what kind of equipment would be most useful to you. Alright guys, that's about it for today. I hope you found this video somewhat useful. Later on, I might do more in-depth review on specific items to give you a better understanding of each item themselves, but for now I just wanted to give you a general scope of what's out there and what you should be looking for. If you're new to this channel and want to see more, hit that subscribe button. If you like this video, give me a thumbs up. And if there's anything on your mind, leave it in the comments section below. My name is Santiago Leunda. Thank you guys for watching, and I'll see you guys next week.